Hello and good evening to wherever you may be watching. Thank you for joining SPI Logistics in this week's market conditions. In March 2024, the Logistics Managers Index surged to 58.3, marking the fastest expansion since September 2022. This growth reflects a healthier logistics industry compared to 18 months ago, when readings were inflated by unwanted inventories and high warehousing costs. Inventory levels rose to 63.8, indicating 3 consecutive months of growth after a slump in 2023. The uptick in transportation jobs suggests carriers are investing in drivers and staff ahead of potential market changes. Lower equipment prices, fuel cost relief, and an active spot market are likely enabling this growth. The upcoming International Road Check coincides with the start of summer peak season, which carriers hope will bring positive market shifts and impacts to capacity and pricing. The expansion in March is fueled by long-planned inventory expansions and increased efficiency in warehousing and transportation utilization, resulting in a tightening of warehousing capacity. This suggests firms are preparing for sustained consumer spending and indicates continued economic growth in the near future. It is important to note that a potential warning sign on the horizon is the ongoing uncertainty with the growing conflicts and geopolitical tensions that are occurring. Update on Port of Baltimore. According to the Port Administration, the United States Army Corps of Engineers believes it can open a limited access channel that would be 280 feet wide and 35 feet deep within the next 4 weeks. For comparison, the normal access channel is 700 feet wide and 50 feet deep. Goods are being rerouted from the Port of Baltimore following the Francis Scott Key Bridge collapse to the ports New York and Norfolk take the bulk, followed by Newark Elizabeth, New York, with 10%, Wilmington, North Carolina, taking up 7%, and other parts grabbing 12%. The Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration issued a waiver for trucking impacted by the collapse of the Francis Scott Key Bridge in Maryland by adding 2 hours to the allowed driving time for commodities rerouted from the Port of Baltimore. AI broker handles load inquiry call. Listen to the call here.
Hi, I'm looking at a load going from Haslett, Texas to Little Rock, Arkansas.
Okay, I've got it. This load picks up in Haslett tomorrow between 4:30 and 5 p.m. It delivers in Little Rock the next day, first come, first serve, between 8 a.m. and 3 p.m. You'll need a 53-foot drive van for this 147 pounds of miscellaneous goods. Anything else you need to know?
You said it picks up tomorrow? Oh,
Yeah,
I didn't
that's
even...
right.
Sorry, I didn't look at it. I thought it picked up today. That's my bad. I'm sorry.
No worries. Okay, do you want me to see if we have any other loads?
Yeah, if you have anything today going to Little Rock from Dallas, Texas area, that'd be great.
I don't have any loads from Dallas to Little Rock. Do you want me to transfer you to the team to see if they have any other loads?
Sure, yeah.
The Logistics Managers Index reads in at 58.3 for March 2024. This is up plus 1.8 from February's reading of 56.5. This is the fastest rate of expansion in the overall index since the reading of 61.2 from 18 months ago in September of 2022. The LMI reported that the inventory level index read in at 63.8, up plus 5.3 from February's reading of 58.5. This marks 3 straight months of growth to start 2024, following a decrease in 7 of the last 8 months in 2023. The Texas Department of Motor Vehicles recently announced there will be no oversized loads allowed to travel from midnight Sunday to midnight on Monday, the day of the solar eclipse. March 2024. Data revealed double-digit freight brokerage closures year over year, for March at 10.6%. Truck transportation jobs in March grew by the second largest amount in the last 15 months, according to the monthly report by the Bureau of Labor Statistics. Frank Jauregui Trucking closed operations last week, taking with it 32 trucks. This is the second Fontana-based carrier to cease operations in 2 weeks, with Tony's Express closing down with a reported 42 power units. We will take a quick break and get back to you with the rate data and capacity trends. On this week's rate data, The national spot rate reported by DAT decreased by 1 cent to $1.55 per mile, with national fuel surcharge at 46 cents for a combined rate of $2.01 per mile. The national van spot rate is $2.01 per mile. The national flatbed spot rate is $2.54 per mile. The national reefer spot rate is $2.30 per mile. The national contact rate reported by DAT is $2.01 per mile, without fuel. Note: spot rates have given back some of the recent increases, but look for them to increase further into 2024 as capacity burn-off continues. In our continuing coverage of capacity trends, we now turn our attention to tender rejections. The outbound tender reject index, which measures relative capacity in the market, was last reported at 3.5%. For reference, anything above 6% is showing capacity as tightening. The van outbound tender reject index was last reported at 3.47%. For reference, the index record low was 2.3%. The flatbed outbound tender reject index was last reported at 17.27%. The reefer outbound tender reject index was last reported at 5.46%. Reefer volumes and reject index will increase with produce season starting. Note: tender rejections are an indicator of trucking capacity conditions. Declining numbers indicate carriers are losing pricing power, while increasing numbers indicate carriers are gaining pricing power. And that's everything we have in this week's segment. Thanks for watching, and we will see you next week.